Now, none of us like to be around a know-it-all or hear a know-it-all. However, we do like to know things, and sometimes about certain subjects especially, we like to know it all. Well, when you look at Solomon in the book of Ecclesiastes, he was a man who had this insatiable quest, it seemed, to know everything, to know it all. And yet there was also this frustration in his mind because he couldn't know it all. He expresses that in chapter 7, beginning at verse 26. I applied my heart to know, to search, and seek out wisdom and the reason of things, to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And there's some nobility to the goal of wanting to know things and even wanting to discern between what's right and what's wrong. And yet he continues on to say that in this quest for knowing and wanting to know, really he ended up finding out more about folly and terrible things than he did about good things. In fact, he says, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, whose hands are fetters. He who pleases God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be trapped by her. Perhaps Solomon here is reminded of some of the relationships he had with women previously before writing this. We learn in 1 Kings chapter 11 that Solomon married many women. In fact, it says he had 700 wives and over 300 mistresses, and that those women turned his heart away from God. They became a snare. They became a folly to him. And so he's thinking about that, and he's searching for wisdom, but he's realizing the foolish things that he's done and the foolish choices that he's made. And so he says, here is what I have found, says the preacher, adding one thing to the other to find out the reason which my soul still seeks, but I cannot find. What he's found out is that he can't find out. And it frustrates him. And he says, one man among 1,000 I have found, but a woman among all these I have not found. That's not really an insult to women, and it's not really saying that men are always wiser than women. I think it's kind of a reflection on the character of the women that Solomon chose as his companions. And he's remembering this, and he's remembering that those choices that he made, very unwise they were, affected his life so dramatically and really took so much of his wisdom away. And so he concludes this chapter by saying, truly, this only I have found. And he tells us this, that God made man upright, but they have sought out many schemes. And so he concludes this train of thought right here by saying, yes, God has made man upright. God made man without sin. It's man who's made the bad choices like I've made. He's reminded of that, and he's reminding us, and God is reminding us through what Solomon wrote here, be careful what you choose, because it can have a lifetime effect on our wisdom or lack thereof.